Hey, what's going on? Chase here, and this is my review of Mary J. Blige's My Life, a documentary about Mary J. Blige and her life, and her musical career, and just everything that hits on Amazon Prime, June 25th, 2001. Speaking of documentaries, I absolutely love documentaries. It is the ultimate art form to connect all of us as humans because we can all learn something from documentaries, whether it be it focusing on a specific person or a period of time or just learning about just anything. I think they're great. They open up your worldview and your perspective on things. You get to hear other perspectives and other people's stories and stuff, and then you can pull something from that story and you can connect yourself to that. Like, it's just the ultimate human experience. I love documentaries. So going into this one, I was excited because I don't know much about Mary J. Blige and her music. So you're probably thinking to yourself, hold on, she's one of the biggest artists of all time. I understand that. I am what people would refer to as dumb when it comes to music. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, whoa, hold on. What does that even mean? So what I'm talking about is that I can't really retain music that well in my headpiece. I listen to like the same six to 10 bands or individual artists over and over again. Because I like to do that so I can understand the lyrics, so I can nail down the song, and it takes me forever to retain that information. I listen to anything from to rock to hip hop to punk alternative. I'm all over the place. That's a different topic of conversation, but my point being, I don't know much about Mary J. Blige and her life and her music. I just don't. It takes me a very long time to understand certain songs and connect them to certain people because I just can't retain that information. I can retain movie knowledge, but music, ask my wife. I'm pretty bad at it, but she's really great at it, and so I'm pretty sure if you threw a Mary J. Blige song at her, she would know it in a heartbeat. I'm sure if you played one in front of me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard that one before, like a really popular one. But other than that, I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff. But that's what's so great about her documentary is that this is all new to me. Her life story, her music, this is all new to me, and that is what is exciting about it. So jumping into this and watching the whole thing, and thank you to the wonderful folks at Fonz PR for letting me watch this early. It was good. It was a good little documentary. I think if you're a huge Mary J. Blige fan, this documentary is perfect for you. If you're someone like me that doesn't know really much about her or her music, this is a wonderful introduction to her. And I say introduction because Mary is just so young. She's got so much more left to give in her career. And so after watching this, I was just excited to see where her career is going to go and where she's going to take off from here. What kind of other pieces of art in her, is she going to express in her music, and just the feeling that she always carries on her shoulders, because there's so much going on with her. I want to see where she takes it. And that's what's really cool about it, is that this is a great, 88-minute or 82-minute, hour and 20-minute introduction to this wonderful person and the struggles that she went through, how she overcame them, and where she has taken her career. And then when it ends, you're like, I want to see more. I want to see what she does. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good documentary for sure. As far as actual documentary style, I think it's pretty basic when it comes to the interviews and just the way they're, framed up. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. I mean, and, Mary is a huge influence in the music industry and just the artist industry in general. I'm sure she's got connections all over the place, which is very apparent because there's a lot of big name celebrities, a lot of music producers that helped her in the beginning of her career. Everyone's in this documentary, just really kind of telling us and just letting us know that Mary is a very, 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 very good person, and I felt that. I felt the love that was just all over the place for Mary in those interviews. A lot of informational stuff that I didn't know about. Just a lot of stuff about her personality, and then we get to hear it from Mary herself, and like she just confirms that, and it's just she is just a wonderful person, and I think that really kind of comes through with the interviews. Yes, they're not like anything special. If you're making a documentary, I am always looking for a different approach to the way interviews are shot up. I know it's just a traditional thing. Even when I do documentaries at work, it's the same stuff. But it's hard to make interviews look interesting. It's the way it's cut together and everything. But I thought the interviews were interesting, and just the way they were kind of like pieced together really kind of told this beautiful story about this beautiful person. So let's get into the actual substance of the story. So director Vanessa Roth, which I've never seen any of her other pieces of work. She crafted a really kind of heartwarming and just touching story, showing through painted kind of hand-drawn animation style what Mary's life was like, and just the inner feelings that she was constantly dealing with. And I think that kind of animated form was a perfect representation of like what she was going through, and it really just kind of brought everything together when it comes to like Mary just describing what she was going through when she created the My Life album. And I thought the kind of artistic touches that Vanessa Roth had in punctuating, that's what I was trying to get to, punctuating the emotional arcs in Mary's life was really, really touching, like I said. To get to Mary herself and her actual life and her journey brought a tear to my eye. I loved it. I had no idea that she grew up in the projects. Really just kind of had that mindset that she was always going to be stuck in one specific place. And she told herself, like, if I want to get out of this situation, I have to do this for me, and I have to apply myself. I have to put myself out there. I have to believe in myself, which is really hard to do. And that's another thing that touched me, which I actually think is the core crux of this entire documentary. Mary's life is wonderful to hear, right? It's really heartwarming and touching, like I said. This documentary is about the fans and how the music affects them. And I thought that was really cool and a different way to kind of tell a documentary and the story. Yes, Mary has a lot of parts in here to describe her background and her life and her career, but there's a lot of moments with fans and how it touches the fans, and you can see them in the B-roll shots of the concert and how they're singing parts of the song, and you can feel the emotions pouring out of them and just having them enjoy themselves. And there was a scene where it was like a fan kind of group thing where they were listening to the My Life album and they were just telling their stories. That's something you don't see in documentaries about musical artists. Yes, they will refer to the fans, but it's mostly about them. But I like how director Vanessa Roth takes the approach of showing the fans almost 50-50 with Mary in this documentary, which I think that's what Mary wanted to do. Was like, she's like, she was probably like, this isn't about me. This is about what my music does to people and like how it helps them and how it helps me. Because she has said a couple times in the documentary, the music inspires the fans. It also inspires me. There was also another line that was really pretty much like what told me everything about her, was that her fans believed in her before she did herself. So it's a wonderful relationship to see on screen between the artist and the fans. And I think seeing this relationship between Mary and her fans was awesome. And that was showcased by showing a bunch of fan reactions, actual fan scenes, and just getting their kind of perspective on her music and how it really affects them. And so I thought that was really just striking emotionally. And like I understand that, because like even with a simpleton like me that listen to the same 6 to 10 people, I connect with them regardless if I want to believe it or not, because I like what I like their story. I like what their message is. I like their style, and we can all relate to that. Taraji P. Henson in the movie, I think it was her. I forgot if it was her or if it was another interviewee, but they said that Mary was a huge influence amongst women of color, and pretty much anyone that wanted to listen to her. And I think that's awesome, is that Mary was really prominent with women and women of color, and really kind of giving them like someone to look up to and someone to connect to with their life story, and have someone like that to be their voice. That is something super special that I love in all artists, how they can touch a certain group out there that just really gravitates towards them, and then everyone else that wants to listen to Mary's music, they're also affected in some way. And that's beautiful. I love that. So I thought the relationship between Mary and her fans was definitely the best part about this, and it really kind of made me understand Mary and the darkness that she was going through, and pouring out her feelings into the My Life album, having people listen to that album, and they could relate to it, and then it touches their life, and it's just this wonderful, beautiful circle of support from both sides. You can't do any better than that. So, yeah, definitely my favorite part about the documentary. I think that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and just wrap it up here. I know I'm rambling on too long, but yeah, I think if you are a huge fan, watch it. For someone like me who doesn't know much about her or her life, watch it and just know a little bit more about Mary J. Blige. So let me know down below what you thought of Mary J. Blige's My Life. And let me know if you liked it, disliked it, and give me more documentaries, particularly on musical artists that are out there and that are super well done. I would like to check them out. So yeah, if there's any other musical artist documentaries out there, please let me know down below with your suggestion. So so that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I'll see you guys later.